Think back to your last heated discussion, one of those moments where emotions ran high, and you felt the irresistible pull to prove you were right. Maybe it was with a friend, a partner, or even a stranger online. These moments sneak up on us, fueled by everything from political divides to personal grievances. But here's the thing. Most of us approach confrontation like it's a battleground, where there must be a winner and a loser. Some people avoid it entirely, fearing the sting of defeat, while others rush in, convinced they'll come out victorious. Yet in truth, nobody really wins in a confrontation, not in the way we think, anyway. When we step into conflict, it's easy to imagine a satisfying outcome where the other person concedes, acknowledges their fault, and maybe even promises to change. We picture their apology, rehearsing it in our minds before the conversation even begins. And then reality hits. Instead of the resolution we envisioned, we're met with resistance, defensiveness, or worse, silence. The problem is that walking into a confrontation with the expectation of winning often blinds us to the complexity of the situation. It's like trying to listen to a symphony, but only waiting for a specific note. You miss the bigger picture entirely. The truth is, most conflicts aren't about villains or heroes. People rarely act out of pure malice. Misunderstandings, mismatched expectations, or simply different ways of processing the world are often at the root. That's why entering a confrontation with curiosity instead of judgment can make all the difference. Ask yourself, do you genuinely want to understand the other person's perspective, or are you just waiting for your turn to talk? When you focus on listening instead of proving a point, you create space for mutual understanding, a resolution that might not look like winning but feels far more satisfying. One powerful tool in this process is the use of I statements. Instead of pointing fingers with accusations like, "You never listen to me," try something like, "I feel unheard when this happens." Shifting the focus to your emotions rather than their actions can disarm defensiveness and open the door to a calmer exchange. It's not about sugarcoating or avoiding the issue. It's about approaching it from a place of vulnerability rather than attack. I statements aren't just diplomatic. They're transformative. They invite collaboration instead of conflict, making it clear that you're seeking resolution, not retribution. Of course, timing is everything. Confrontations fueled by raw emotion are rarely productive. It's tempting to let words spill out the moment frustration boils over. But in those moments, clarity takes a back seat. Instead, pause. Let the heat of the moment cool, and choose a time and place where both of you can speak openly without distractions. This simple act of patience can be the difference between a conversation that resolves and one that implodes. It's also crucial to resist the urge to dredge up old grievances. We've all been there mid-argument, bringing up something that happened months or even years ago. But piling on past conflicts only clouds the current issue, making resolution harder to reach. Stay focused on what's in front of you, addressing one issue at a time. And through it all, remember the importance of respect. Even if you vehemently disagree, kindness and civility can keep a conversation from spiraling into hostility. But let's be honest, not every confrontation will end with a neatly tied bow. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, the other person refuses to engage in a meaningful way. They might lash out, deny responsibility, or deflect with manipulative tactics like gaslighting or projecting their feelings onto you. In these cases, it's important to recognize when to step back. You can't force someone to see your perspective or take accountability if they're determined not to. And that's okay. Walking away doesn't mean you've failed. It means you've prioritized your peace over an endless, fruitless battle. It's also worth noting that some relationships simply run their course. People grow, change, and sometimes drift apart. It doesn't erase the value they once held in your life or the lessons they taught you. But when a relationship becomes more about conflict than connection, it might be time to accept that moving forward separately is healthier for both of you. Letting go isn't about bitterness or blame. It's about making space for new growth for both yourself and the other person. Ultimately, the goal of any confrontation shouldn't be victory. It should be understanding, resolution, or at the very least, clarity. And while you might not always find these things in the other person, you can find them within yourself. By approaching conflict with openness and grace, you take a step closer to peace. Not the kind of peace that comes from winning an argument, but the kind that comes from knowing you handled it with integrity. Because in the end, the greatest resolution isn't about who was right or wrong. It's about moving forward in a way that feels true to you.